Hello everyone, I am David, I am a PhD student in computational linguistics, and in this video I am going to talk about something slightly different compared to my previous videos, which are about machine learning or NLP. And today I focus on one concept in Python, and this concept is packing and unpacking arguments in functions in Python. So basically it means when you see asterisk plus some variable name in the function call or function definition or two asterisks. So first I start by showing you an example. So here we have a function definition which is add, which takes three positional arguments. And what the function does, it simply returns the sum of these three variables a, b, and c. So when we call the function add 1, 2, and 3, we can expect the output 6, which is what it really returns. But what if we want to sum more than 3 or less than 3 numbers? So for example, when we call the function with 1, 2, 3, and 4, or only with 2 arguments, what happens? So as expected, it won't work because like in first case there is the error that the add function takes 3 positional arguments but 4 were given. In the second case, the add function is missing one required positional argument, which is c. So what to do about this? So this brings us to this concept in Python, which is packing. And so here we can see how it was without this packing concept. So this is the same what I've shown you in the previous slide. So the first function call works, it returns 6. The second doesn't work because there is the type error. There's a mismatch between the number of defined arguments and the number of arguments which are passed when the function is called. When we define the function with the packing, it looks like this. So we use asterisk and some variable name. It's commonly used args as the variable name, but we can use any other variable name for this. And what it does, it basically takes all the arguments, all the positional arguments, and it packs into a tuple. So then in the function body, when we use the args variable, it simply is a tuple, and we can, for example, in this function, call the sum method for that and return the sum of all positional arguments. So now when we call the function with 3 positional arguments or with 4, in both cases it would work and we get correct numbers. So we can see that tuple is an iterable, so basically we can do anything which we can do with iterables. Now we move to unpacking. So we have seen packing, and now what the unpacking is. So again we have our function add, which is with these 3 arguments, positional arguments, and it returns the sum of these 3 arguments a, b, and c. And now let's say that we want to sum the numbers which are in some data structure which is iterable, and in this case we have them in the list. So we have a list which is called numbers, and it contains 3 numbers. And what we want to do, we want to call this function with the numbers which are in the list called numbers. But when we do this, when we call add and we pass the numbers, well, it won't work because the numbers is considered as the first positional argument, and the interpreter of Python will say that there are 2 required positional arguments missing. So what to do instead, we use again the Python concept, which is unpacking in this case, and it's done using the asterisk again. So in this case, what it does, it takes the iterable, the list, which contains these three values, and using this asterisk here, it unpacks all the numbers to the positional argument. So now, when we call this function, it returns 6, and this is the expected behavior. It's really important to mention here that this will work only when the number of the numbers in the list is the same as the number of positional arguments in the function. Otherwise, it won't work, of course. So we talk about positional arguments, and let's move to keyword arguments. So here on the left we have a new function definition. It's a create user, which takes two arguments, name and age, and we want to print name and age. So when we call it with the name Alice and age 25, it will work. It returns Alice 25. But when we call this method with Bob as the name, age 30, but we add also city Prague, it will return type error, because again there is a mismatch between the arguments which were given during the function call and what are defined in the definition of the function. And when we want to be more flexible, we use again the concept of packing in Python. But now it's a bit different, because we are passing keyword arguments here. So we can't use one asterisk anymore, and instead of this one asterisk we have two asterisks in Python, which define packing keyword arguments. What this basically does, it takes all the keyword arguments and creates a dictionary, which is then passed to the function. So when we call this, we can see that when we print keyword arguments, it returns a dictionary with two keys, name and age, and two values in the first case, and here there is 3 items in the second case. So the difference between the positional and keyword arguments, packing and unpacking, is that for positional arguments, the arguments are packed into the tuple, and in the keyword arguments they are packed into the dictionary. So here is a very brief summary and comparison between packing and unpacking. So first, the definition. So for the packing, it collects multiple values into a single variable. So it can be a tuple, list, or dictionary. And unpacking, it extracts values from a collection, again, tuple, list, or dictionary, into individual variables. Operators used are either one asterisk or two asterisks. One is for tuples and lists, or any iterables, and two asterisks are for dictionaries. So the purpose for packing is that it allows functions to accept a variable number of arguments. In the comparison to unpacking, it allows passing values dynamically to functions or variables. So when we look at the data structure, so for packing it's tuple, and for the it's the tuple for the positional arguments, and dictionary for keyword arguments. And when we look at the packing and unpacking for function definition, and we can see that we use one asterisk for positional arguments and two for keyword arguments. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, I'll be happy if you subscribe to this channel and won't miss any upcoming videos on these topics. Bye!